So first came Chanel Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, then came Chanel Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, and now they have announced Chanel Bleu de Chanel Pure Parfum, launching very soon. We're going to discuss this upcoming release and see if it's a necessary release or redundant comparing to these two fragrances, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel and or you've been watching videos and still haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell icon so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. And yes, Chanel Bleu de Chanel Parfum or Pure Parfum has been announced, but the first time I found out about it was when I flew into Gatwick Airport on my last trip to Europe. And at that airport there's a big Chanel boutique. So they have all the Chanel fragrances there. Of course, they also have the Les Exclusives or Les Exclusives collection there. So if you're ever at that airport, get them a really good price there. And then the woman there, I guess she was a more upper management kind of woman. She said, you know what, we're launching the latest Bleu de Chanel. And I said, well, when is it being announced? Because I was like very curious to inquire about it and find out and perhaps pick it up. And she said, well, it's not out yet, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. This was late December. It was actually on Christmas Day at the airport. I asked her, do you think it'll be launching by the time I'm flying back? She said, you know, it might be. Check back. And it wasn't launched. And I've been anticipating this release and waiting for this launch because I'm really a lover of Chanel Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. But this new version, a more intense pure perfume edition of Chanel Bleu de Chanel is coming very soon. And I wanted to do a video about it because I really enjoy this version right here, Chanel Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. And even though I like the Eau de Toilette, I know for sure I prefer this one because I find it to be a little less louder, a little less, a little screechy. I find it to be a little more comforting, a little more mellower, and just the right enough of freshness and woodiness and smokiness for me when I've kind of got a little bit of overwhelming nose fatigue or something, or if I'm going to the gym, because I love wearing this to the gym. But the new fragrance, Chanel Bleu de Chanel Parfum, which is actually a stronger version of this from what I know because of the concentration, because what we have is Eau de Toilette, and the next up is the Eau de Parfum, and then after that is the Extrait or pure perfume edition of fragrances, which is more concentrated perfume oils. And what I found out is that it's an aromatic-woody intense, and they say on the Chanel manual that was shared with me, it's an intense and powerful interpretation of the woody aromatic fragrance for men. I mean, this is a big, very popular fragrance. I know it is. It is just, men seem to love it, and it's very universally loved and appreciated, and it's a compliment getter. I didn't really like this one at first. This one I fell in love with right away, even though I thought, okay, it was nothing original to me, but it had that right amount of freshness and coziness that I was looking for, especially when my nose is burnt out from fragrances and I want to smell great. I want something to smell on me, but I don't want this like overwhelming, like strong, really bold fragrance. I want something to make me smell great and get compliments and not like turn people off. And that's kind of why I really fell in love with this one. I still have this one. I wear it occasionally. I mean, to the gym, yes. But this one is the one I pull for more, and I really like it. But a more intense version, even more intense than the Eau de Parfum version, is coming out soon. Now that's got me thinking, wow, this must be really great. And according to the notes that I got from Chanel, it's a Sandalwood-Cedar accord is big in this fragrance. So according to more information from the notes, it's a generous presence of sandalwood, bringing fullness, sensuality, and richness to the original Bleu de Chanel. Now, it also has a gold lamé color scheme, it says. I haven't seen the bottle. I've seen a photo of it, and I'll flash it on here. And it's got a black spray. So I'm very curious to see what they've done differently compared to these two. and see what it's all about. Because again, I'm a big fan of the eau de parfum, but if it gets more concentrated, it'll more intensified with the woodiness from the sandalwood and cedar accord, I'm all there. I would really love to check this out. That's why I've been anticipating, because when the associate first told me about the parfum version, I'm like, whoa, really? What are they going to do with this more that they have done? Now it's kind of starting to sound like Dior Homme. Like Dior Homme came out, then they had Sport, they had Dior Homme Intense, they had Dior Homme Eau, and finally the pure perfume Dior Homme Parfum came out, which has become one of my favorite designer fragrances ever in the last 5 years. So now the excitement is building up for Bleu de Chanel Parfum, and I'm anticipating the release of that. You know, you never know. I mean, perhaps it's not as fresh, which sounds like it won't be, although it's still kind of fresh, because Bleu de Chanel, I finally kind of associate it with like freshness, but they say that it's, you know, sandalwood and cedar accord is bigger here, so I'm all game. I'm interested in finding out. Now, as far as prices go, a 1.7 ounce bottle of Chanel Bleu de Chanel will retail for $120, and a 1.7 ounce bottle of the Eau de Toilette retails for $75, suggested retail. Now, that's a big price markup for the parfum, because, you know, they're using a more concentrated perfume oils, so you got more perfume oil versus alcohol, whereas on an eau de toilette you got more alcohol versus the perfume oil. So it's $75 for a 1.7 ounce in the eau de toilette, $90 is a 1.7 ounce bottle for the eau de parfum, and $120 for the pure parfum. So it's $30 more than the eau de parfum, so it is going to be pricier. And the 3.4 ounce 100 ml bottle will retail for $150 for the pure parfum, and for the eau de toilette it's $95. So you got $55 more to pay if you want the pure parfum edition versus the eau de toilette. And then of course $115 for the eau de parfum version of Bleu de Chanel versus $150. So you're paying $35 more to get the pure parfum version compared to the eau de parfum version. Of course, these two come in larger sizes. Of course, these here, what sizes are these? I don't even remember. This is a 5 ounce, so it's 150 ml. This is $128 for the eau de toilette, and this is $150 for the eau de parfum. So this is the price of the pure parfum, whereas I get 50 mils more here versus the 100 ml in the pure parfum version. And now they have a limited edition 10 ounce version of this, which I don't have obviously here. It's $250, and then they have a 10 ounce version of this, which is $225. So depends on what you're in the mood for, but for me, I would go right to the 3.4 ounce, $150, because I think I find it to be better value, because $150 for 3.4, half of that as a 1.7 ounce is $120. So the price difference is $30. I get more juice, and if I don't want it, I can sell it or sell some of it or things like that, depending on what I want to do. But from the sound of this, it's sounding really great, a pure or a parfum version of Bleu de Chanel, and we'll see what happens. Now, as far as versatility goes, these are pretty versatile to me. This is the most versatile. This one a little less, but still very similar. Smell-wise, they're also very similar. I find this to be, as I said, a little more comforting. Now, as far as versatility goes with the pure parfum version, I'm not sure how versatile that's going to be. The woody notes of sandalwood and cedar have been amplified, so there's going to be more woody compared to the freshness, because these have a pretty big grapefruit note in the fragrance. I find the grapefruit to be the most dominant, next to the incense and the woody notes. But here with the pure parfum, I think the dominant notes are going to be the sandalwood and cedar, then smoke, and then grapefruit. At least that's what I'm thinking. I wasn't able to get the notes because it was not available at Chanel, and they were unable to, you know, give me the notes, obviously, because there's no mention of the notes there, because probably they don't have them yet. But in their 2018 catalog, this information was there for me to read, because I make friends with the sales associates at the stores and of course the Chanel sections of the department stores, and you know, they know me and they show me what's coming, or they actually call me and say, hey, we've got a new fragrance coming. So it's kind of cool to do that because you get to experience some things before they actually make it you know, on the shelves to be sold. And then this is kind of the example where they told me, okay, this is what's going on very soon, and hopefully you'll be interested in buying a bottle. And of course I am, and I'm anticipating the release, as I said. Since I found out about it back on Christmas Day at the Gatwick airport, I've been anticipating. When I left Spain and landed back in Gatwick on the 15th of January, still wasn't out, but I guess maybe, I don't know, Chanel seems to move things back. I guess they want to make sure when they're launching things, they want to make sure it's at its best. So perhaps they're waiting for that. And the other thing is, I haven't found any information about this fragrance anywhere. Nowhere to be found online, nothing. Not on Fragrantica, not on Parfumo. I've been looking and looking and looking, nothing has been announced. So I think Chanel hasn't really officially made the announcement. Otherwise these databases would get this information. Nothing there. But this was thanks to our friends at Chanel. Gave me the photo, well, a snap photo of a couple of pages there, and now we have the information. It's going to be 2018, hopefully, like within the next month, I was told, sometime in March. And of course the prices, and for you guys to check out and get. Now Chanel is difficult to find at discounters, so you'll have to go to an authorized retailer that sells Chanel, or go to a Chanel boutique. And I don't know, with this particular launch, it's not an eau de toilette, it's not like a mass appealing fragrance, it's more of a flanker. I'm not sure if it's going to get a big rollout at all the stores like Macy's, because at Macy's is, I think, pretty much the big store that rolls out a lot of very, very mass appealing fragrances. Who knows, maybe this will, but if it doesn't, it's probably going to be a little limited release. But anyway, hopefully the excitement is building now that you found out about it. If you knew about it, perhaps you've been anticipating as well, like me. But if you didn't, now you're anticipating the launch, because if you're a fan of this and you're a fan of that, perhaps you're happy with either or both, if you have both, or just one or the other. But if you're a perfume lover like me, or fragrance lover like me, and you always want to try out flankers of very popular fragrances, perhaps this one's going to get you really excited, and anticipation will be building up until it's launched. I don't know. I'm anticipating, and as soon as I have a bottle, I will air a review of it, of course after testing it out. But for now, are you guys interested in this release? Are you curious to find out about it? Are you curious to test out a stronger, more pure, concentrated, or intense version of the original Eau de Toilette version and the Eau de Parfum version? Let me know your thoughts. Put some comments down below. Let's get some conversation started. Also, let me know, are you a fan of the original in Eau de Toilette? Or are you a fan of the Eau de Parfum? And perhaps you're not even a fan of these two, and you like Sauvage better from Dior. And of course, Dior has now the Eau de Parfum version. As soon as they're launching their Eau de Parfum version, we're getting a Parfum version of Bleu de Chanel. Also guys, watch my review with Ashley. We have a really excellent video Ashley and I did together comparing these two fragrances. If you haven't seen it, please do watch that. I have a link in the info box. Also, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.